Dele Ogun, foreign affairs commentator, who's also joining us from London for more on this. Mr. Ogun, thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Pleasure.
Just yesterday, the Prime Minister vowed to fight on, and now this. Are you surprised by his resignation?
Not in the least. Boris is full of banter. The English love his bubbling, bantering style. That works up to a point until he starts endangering the national interest and national dignity. And that's when you see democracy really work, democracy in action, because you heard not only from members of his own cabinet, members of his own party speaking out. In your clip earlier, you saw the leader of the opposition, Keir Starmer, saying that he's got to go. You also heard the leader of the Scottish National Party, Nicola Sturgeon, saying that he's got to go. So you see, this is the interesting contrast with our situation on the ground at home in Nigeria. We think we're practicing democracy. Here, there's so many voices that you hear when things are going wrong, right from within your own party, because here they are scared of the people. They are scared of the electorate. That is the real measure of democracy, because the party know that if they don't deal with the Boris crisis, the electorate will deal with them. And so you see members of the party jumping off the boat quickly and say, he's not going to take me down. And you see the leader of the opposition stepping in and giving him some blows as well to help him along the way. Everybody wants to hear their voice, have their voice heard when things are going wrong. In our situation, what voices are you hearing? Things are going much more dramatically wrong as far as the Nigerian political space is concerned. Do you hear okay, let's leave Tinubu aside, it says he's my party. Do you hear the voice of Atiku, the would-be next president, or Peter Obi on the issues?
Staying with Boris Johnson, I mean, some have said he didn't outrightly resign. He's still meant to stay on till October, till his party finds his successor. But do you think he's trying to buy time? Can he persuade MPs he's fit to stay in power until October? How likely is this?
No chance. No chance at all. They say that vacuums in politics are dangerous. And the British system is so organized that they never leave a vacuum situation. So all he will be, he's just a caretaker, he's a lame duck prime minister. He would limp along until they find a replacement, but there's no chance of him being recycled. I mean, the British have a history of deposing prime ministers who may have delivered victory. He delivered victory for them in Brexit, similar to the way that Winston Churchill delivered victory for them in World War II. But when they had an election, the British people threw him out and a new administration came in. As far as they're concerned, Boris has passed his sell-by date. He has delivered on Brexit. And when it comes to more constructive leadership, not in a sort of war situation where you're fighting the enemies, the Europeans, they need a different mindset. And Boris has proved that he hasn't got that mindset. He's great when there's a battle to be won, but he's absolutely useless when it comes to just running the show and managing the exercise.
Well, pending the time till it leaves, there's a new cabinet in place now. How well do you think the government can function amid all the scandals involving the Prime Minister and with, so much people leaving?
Well, you expect the Labour Party to ramp up the pressure. Keir Starmer has been a bit low-key. He doesn't really excite audiences when people hear him speak. Nicola Sturgeon is much more forceful. And what you're going to have is going to be a very, very difficult time for this government. There's some very bad policies out there, not least the Rwanda exercise, recolonizing Rwanda with unwanted, undesirable would-be immigrants. That was the agenda that Boris, I'll be surprised if the Conservative Party stay with that. It's a chance for them to jettison that policy and said it was Boris wipe the slate clean. They've got Scottish independence. That's going to be very difficult for them because Sturgeon is going to rack up the pressure. The one thing that you expect continuity is as far as the Ukraine war is concerned, and it wouldn't surprise me if they bring somebody with a military background being the one to replace Boris, because they've sort of they've flown their flag too openly as far as that war is concerned. I heard somebody confirm just the other day what ironically many Nigerians refuse to accept, that this is a proxy war. It is their war. And Boris has been right at the vanguard of it. The Conservative Party have been at the forefront. They're real cheerleaders as far as the Ukraine government is concerned. That one is too big for them to back out from. But I expect other policy issues, as I said, like Rwanda, for them to sort of reverse back from there.
And just before I let you go, Mr. Ogun, what do you expect will happen in the next few days regarding Boris Johnson? Do you think there will be a vote of no confidence or even a general election to remove him from power?
Well, as Sturgeon said, she feels that it's going to be unlikely because, you see, it's politicians are the same all over. It's all about their jobs. They want to hang on for dear life. And the members of the Conservative Party, they still have a majority at the present time, they will be hanging on for dear life. The last thing they want is an election at this time because it can only go badly for them. They would like to stall and get to the new leader, get to the autumn, maybe the party conference, and perhaps call an election shortly after that. But the last thing they want right now is a new election. But as I said, there are lessons for us here. You know, his indiscretions. What is the real trigger for Boris to be kicked out? He delivered on Brexit. The economy is performing reasonably well, allowing for the Ukraine distortions. So what is his sin? It's the odd lie, petty lie, idiocy, as it were. In our case, how bad do things have to get before, say, Buhari decides that he's going to step down or people call on him to step down? It just goes to show you the distance between what we think we're practicing as democracy and the reality. We're a long way from it.
All right, then, Mr. Dele Ogun, thank you so much for your thoughts on the world today.
Thank you.